lowriders or not, today on the vlog is a new Royal Enfield Himalayan 450. I believe that Royal Enfield Himalayan is very good for people like me who are not the adventure bike riders. So for me it's like a great bike, great adventure bike for non-adventure bike riders. I haven't tried it properly yet, only just got to the location, and with that little bit I instantly could feel how much more power, how much more torque it has comparing with the previous model. We will do a little bit of a comparison in this video as well, because luckily we have a range of Royal Enfields from Coupe motorcycles, and today we took both an old and a new Himalayan out for a ride to compare and to see what is the difference. Is it a significant difference? But it's not a comparison video, the video is about the new one. It's a lot new things introduced into a new Himalayan. It's increased horsepower, increased to everything is better, like shower, upside down forks. They're still not adjustable, but so much better, and overall the bike is better. But I really liked how old school the old one was. I really liked how it didn't feel that much as an adventure bike, and this one looks more like an adventure bike, so I am curious how I will feel about it. Will it be too much and will kill my confidence? Because on the previous Himalayan I was ready to try green laning. I felt very confident on the bike, pushing it like further as a very small adventure bike. I want to see how is it on this one, but obviously we will start with a road riding. So the road is bumpy here, and uneven. A bike just goes nicely, just easy, effortless, simple, just like a previous Himalayan, but you feel more power, and more power sometimes, most of the times, it's more fun. Brakes are working great, gears shifting smoothly. Going through the gravelly bits as you expect from adventure bike, just goes nice and smooth, no skids, no problems. Confidence on it builds up with it every single meter riding it. it's an alien sitting position for me. Not sitting position, but an alien weight balance of a bike, and sitting that high on the bike, as I don't ride adventure bikes. And the previous Meteor, the feeling was I'm just confused with what speed I should go, still 30. And the previous Meteor felt more like smaller Royal Enfields, like a Scram for example. So this is a completely different bike. It has some character of a previous Meteor, but it feels completely different. And definitely there is a huge improvement in the performance. So riding in the very quiet urban area, but still urban area, it feels great, and the nice small twisty roads. It feels absolutely fine. Doesn't have any issues with a turning angle, with like it doesn't struggle with anything. Just beautiful. And now guys, I know that I'm not an adventure bike rider and I have very little experience, which adds up little by little on riding off-road. But this is the bike made for all roads, so let's see how comfortable it is for somebody who has very little off-road experience and can't call themselves can't call herself an expert of road, or like literally, you know, I think that bike like this, it's the beginner's adventure bike. Most probably a lot of advanced riders will love it as well, maybe to keep out of trouble or for simplicity of it. But it is the beginner friendly adventure bike, and that's what I want to show, how confident I feel, if I feel confident enough to do green laning and get a bike from the dealership on the green lanes, knowing that if I'm gonna drop it, I'm gonna buy it, then I believe anyone will feel confident enough. So starting with the previous Himalayan, as you can see, I reached the ground, both feet flat, like completely flat, and a bike is light. I'll pop all the figures, the seat height and the weight of a bike over here. And then if I'll get on the new Himalayan, I'm 1 meter 5'9". Same, both feet flat. So the height of a bike feels the same, but this feels heavier and feels bulkier, feels bigger. In fact, after riding it for a little bit now and joyfully going country lanes and also a little bit of a green laning on the grass, a little bit, as you can see, I got a little bit on the mud, I could say that this feels more like adventure bike when this was... It was a Royal Enfield, just the adventure bike shape. It didn't have that many features of the adventure bike, whereas this getting closer to the other brands' adventure bikes, to more modern adventure bikes. Whereas good or bad, I don't know, I think it's a personal preference. Like, I probably would prefer that because it's more advanced, you can ride it faster on the road, because I'm a road rider, so obviously I can feel better riding this on the road. But if you are a beginner rider and you riding on the mud and a lot of gravel roads, maybe you would feel more confident on the previous version. That's for you to decide. I love how much it's improved. You still can feel that it's Himalayan, but it's like a pimped version of it. As the same as the previous one, all the buttons are in the right places. Mickey Mouse mirrors, you can see everything at the back right. Big improvement with the TLF display. It's very different from the Tripper on the previous Himalayan. As you can see, the new display is very modernized as well. You can go through the specs of your bike, you can go through when you need to do your service, you can go through all the different things, but the most important, you can have your sat nav. I forgot to switch it on the main screen, so I only have like a little bit the little arrow, but you can have it on the main screen. So it's really more concentrated on the adventures, on people going for a longer rides, for just enjoying, because that is important. This is the bike to take out, to have fun, but also it can be a perfect commuting bike. It's so far I covered all the speed limits in this country, and as I said, like, you can see gravel and mud and grass as well, and I can say it feels confident on every single surface. I felt confident riding it, and I am not confident as soon as I get off the tarmac, but that makes me feel good. I stood up straight away, I could reach with my feet, I could reach very nicely the rear brake, which is very important. I rode some bikes that I couldn't when I'm standing up. It's a little bit too low for my foot. So size wise, it's a great fit. For my size, it's definitely a great fit. Visually, again guys, the old Himalayan looks more retro. This one has more refined, more modernized forms, and it looks more like other modern adventure bikes to me. But let's have a proper look around. Now, because Iggy is here, I will ask his assistance, and I want to show how 2 people fit on the bike. Well, that's comfy. That's actually all right. So the pillion seat is quite wide and quite big, and as you can see, if you have an argument with your partner, or you're riding not with a partner but with a mate who's taking you a little bit tipsy back home, then you don't even have to touch the driver. You can move as far as over here and hold on the rack. Look. So if you're having an argument, it's no problem at all, or you can get very close. Do you feel confident? Comfortable? All good?
Good.
Yeah, the pilly seat and the pilly pegs are all in the right places. As a pillion, I feel great on that. I don't feel discomfort of any sort. I don't think my bum would be sore very soon. It's as padded, almost as padded as the rider's seat, and it feels okay. And as I mentioned, you don't have to interact with the rider, which, jokes aside, it can be important, especially if your partner is a new rider and don't have experience riding with a pillion, with not bumping constantly and being a part of the rider. Then it can help both of you to go and have adventures. Okay, ready? So now, after riding at the various speeds and a little bit of a variety of surfaces, I must say that it feels like it's a bike that you can ride anywhere. That's a bike that you can choose to commute on. That's a bike that you can choose to go around the world on. It's nice, it's budget. And if you end up on the uneven surfaces, you will be confident enough that it will make it through. As much as on the previous Himalayan, the stand felt a little bit too high, the bike was a little bit too upright, and if you have like an even surface, it was sketchy. This is a little bit too low. It's kind of like, I wish it is something in between. May I ask you a couple of questions about the new Royal Enfield Himalayan? You rode it, didn't you?
Yes, yeah.
And you are very experienced off-road rider. Oh yeah. Like comparing with me.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, yeah, okay, yeah. Let's say yes.
You race and...
yeah, well, let's go with yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So what do you think?
Personally, I think it's brilliant. I really like the old bike. I actually had one I had one of the first ones that came to the country, and then I sold it. I only got rid of it last year, just purely because I knew this was coming. And I really like the old bike, the way it rode, the way it felt, the character of it. But this new bike is just a big step ahead. It's sort of, for me, it's what the old bike should have been. And I know that this bike, they started working on this bike about the same time, if not a little bit before they actually launched the old one. So they've been working on it for a long time. This is a bike that probably would be more sort of the thing that people have as their only bike, whereas the 411 was something that a lot of people had as a second bike, and when they wanted to longer distance touring and things like that, didn't quite have the power to keep up with sort of main motorway traffic, whereas this, you can sit on it all day at 70, 75 mile an hour, and you still got a little bit of poke left just to get past if you need to. I mean, even to be honest, the finish and everything on the engine on the 411 was good, but you can just tell on this one it's just another step ahead.
So they improved the quality of
yeah, 100%. Yeah, every time you can
you can see on the bike as well.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Every time they bring out a new model, you can see the quality just sort of taking another step ahead.
How about the services? I know that it's a lot better now.
Yeah. So the old one, you had your first service at 300 miles, and then after that it was every 3,000. The new one is first service still at 300 miles, but it's actually a bit of a cheaper bike to service, because on the old one you were doing the valve clearances every single time, whereas on the new one you're not. So you do your first service at 300 miles, which is like you're running in service, so that's oil and filter change and a good check over, whereas the old one was the same, oil and filter, but also you're doing the valve clearances, so you're paying for that extra time. Whereas on this, valve clearances aren't due till 6,000 miles, and then so you have first service at 300, next one at 6,000, which is valve clearances, and then 12,000 miles is your next service after that, which you have valve clearances, and then after that your valve clearances aren't due until
another 12.
Yeah, another 12.
Yeah, so it's every 12,000 afterwards.
Yes, yeah.
Basically, so 6,000 and then 12, which is huge difference from the previous one.
So it's a lot more. It's going to be a lot more sort of costly, a lot more cost effective, sorry, to run than the old one. The old one, a lot of people did say about the price of servicing, obviously, because it's quite a tight range of miles that you're going to be doing servicing on, whereas this one's a little bit bigger and a little bit easier, a little bit cheaper to do as well. There's a whole range of Royal Enfield accessories come in, so loads of different handguards, different handlebars, different screens, headlight guards. There's a couple of different seats, so there's a touring seat, and then there's a rally seat, so it's a one-piece seat, and you change the rear mudguard, so it's a bit more like a motocross style rear mudguard and a motocross seat. There's a couple of different sump guards, different crash bars, different exhausts come in from Royal Enfield, obviously loads of different luggage options. So the luggage, the pannier rails are obviously going to be new for this bike, but the panniers, the metal panniers, are the same ones as what's on the 411. So people who are trading in the 411s and moving on to the 450, they'll be able to keep their existing panniers and just buy the new rails for the 450. And then we've already started measuring up and looking at some other bits and pieces. So bar risers, so we've got some different bar risers being made. Local chap makes them about 5 doors long actually. So we've got some bar risers come in. And then we've started looking at other stuff as well. Different ways. We've started looking at the front mudguard. So when you ride it off road and you've got slightly chunkier tyres, I think they're going to be quite tight to that existing mudguard. So we're looking at different options at the moment, what we can do with that, just to give you a bit more clearance. We've spoken to a couple of different people about suspension upgrades, like lift kits and stuff, like which we did with the early one, but at the moment it's still quite early and we haven't really got a bike. Obviously we've got this bike, but I'd need another one really to strip right down so we can have a look and see what bits and pieces we need.
Could we expect by the end of this year to see a heavily customized by you?
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, we've got loads of plans in the pipeline. We've actually entered a race in August, an enduro race in Wales, so hopefully fingers crossed, by then we'll have some bits done, so we're a bit more prepared. And
that will be a proper test ride as well.
Exactly.
The race on it.
We're entering,
I'm looking forward to ask you about that.
6-hour race, so yeah, we need to get some training in before that, I think, get some time on the bike, but yeah, no, we're looking forward to that.
That's brilliant. Yeah. That's brilliant. Is it possible to increase the power even more, like with big bore kit?
There will be, so we've already got some DNA free flow air filters come in. Royal Enfield are actually doing an exhaust, I think they're doing it with arrows, but I'll confirm that. and I know, speaking to some of the guys who designed the bike and developed the bike, they done some testing with a straight through pipe on it to get rid of the cat in it, sorry. That gave them, I can't remember how much, but that was quite a significant gain. And then, yeah, I mean, given time, there will definitely be people who will be working on the motor to their big bore kit. I think the thing is with this bike, it's such a highly anticipated bike, and there's been so many people waiting for it for so long. So many people are going to want to get involved with it and make parts for it. So yeah, no, we should be.
There's exciting times ahead.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm looking forward to see the journey and what you will make with it, and obviously to maybe I'll come to watch your races.
Yeah, exactly. You can pick us up off the floor.
Thank you so much, Jack.
No worries, thank you.
You can clearly see which bike I rode today, and I'm very happy and very proud about it, because I always wanted to do more off-road riding, and I think even a little bit off-road makes you way better rider, just like a track does, just like changing different bikes and changing different roads makes you better. So this definitely could be your only bike which you can improve on. It can be your first bike which you will definitely improve on if you will be willing to, if you will be pushing yourself, because it's a bike for me that can do any road. You can cruise on it on the motorways and the national speed limit, you will have no problem. It's comfortable, you can pack your stuff, you can go around the world, which is proved by a female rider as well. You can do short rides, slow rides, windy roads, you can go for a weekend ride, you can take your partner with you, you can pack and go to ABR festival, you can go and do off-road, even if you never did an off-road before. On this you can do it. Not a heavy off-road obviously, but just to start in, just to get in, just to get on the gravel, get on the grass, get a little bit on the mud. This is definitely capable to do so. And like Jack said, whereas the previous Himalayan was more of a second bike for a lot of people, this can be that only one, because it is more improved, it has more power, it is more capable, it is more technically advanced, it is better made, has a better engine, plus because of the different services intervals that you now do 6,000 miles and then 12,000, 12,000, 12,000 plus 1,000, 12,000, 12,000 until forever. I'm really looking forward within the year evolves to see more of a Himalayan, to definitely film a customized one from Cooper Motorcycles, maybe see Jack racing one or interview him when he will be back from the races, maybe take a long-term loan from Royal Enfield UK and just to do more on this. This is definitely an exciting bike for a motorcycle community and for everyone who's been waiting for it. For today, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.